Hi, Jen Rulins with One Focus Property Management here with a legislative update. Today I'm going to share with you where we are on the legislative changes that we've endured so far and what we expect in the future. We can start with the federal eviction moratorium, which was limited to properties with federally backed mortgages, and that expired July 25th. There is a lasting remnant though, and that's that the act required at the end of the moratorium that 30 days notice to quit should be provided instead of the 10 days Pennsylvania requires. We believe the intent of this was to make sure that at the end of the moratorium, tenants had enough time to make up the balances they accrued and remain in their housing. However, the act didn't clearly define a sunset date for this requirement. So tenant activist groups have taken up this cause and are attempting to make this 30-day notice to quit requirement a permanent and federal level tenant protection. They've been successful in getting judges to follow this interpretation, and our attorneys are warning us that we are likely to see this be enforced even by our local district magistrates. This is something I have been concerned about since the CARES Act was passed, but didn't know how it was going to work out. I know that there are efforts to close up this loose end, but given the state of things in Washington, D.C., I don't know that we can count on that happening in a timely fashion. I have requested guidance from our local magisterial courts, and if they provide it, that is the lead we will follow. If we are unable to get this issue resolved, it may be that federally backed properties will require 30 days notice to quit, and that would extend the length of time to evict from 6 weeks to 9 weeks. Beyond this loose end, there's more uncertainty. We know that our Congress has been working on another stimulus package, and as part of that, an extension of the eviction moratorium. By the way, if you haven't told your legislators what you think of this, please follow the link in the email or post that you're watching this on that will tell you, help you tell your representatives that you don't want this. Congress has not taken any action yet on an extension. On Saturday, President Trump announced an executive order relating to assisting renters. You can read that in the link in the email. You will note that it is worded strongly and has strong intent, but it really amounts to asking Health and Human Services and Housing and Urban Development to take action and/or provide funding to prevent homelessness. At this point, the president's executive order is not enforceable. Even though the federal eviction moratorium has ended, we are still contending with the Pennsylvania eviction moratorium, which covers all properties and prevents evictions for non-payment and lease terminations. This is set to end on August 31st, but that could be extended too. I am asked almost every day whether I think the eviction moratorium will be extended in PA like it's been in several states. This is a hot button topic and one that I have to be honest, I don't have a good track record in predicting. I never thought we would see statewide, much less national eviction moratoriums. However, at the end of August is an interesting time. We're almost 6 months into this, kids are going back to school, and our infection rates are stable. I remain a believer that the end of August will mark the end of these restrictions and we can go back to enforcing our private agreements. I love bringing you this information as I live it and breathe it every day, and I know that getting reliable information is difficult. So please share this update with anyone you know who is curious. Until next time, stay well.